Hello and welcome back to EclipseClan. Today we are picking up where we left off. I'm going to apologize in advance for any background noise. Apartment living can be quite noisy. But today is going to be probably a quicker episode overall. I just don't have the most time, so that's kind of long and the short of it. We'll go ahead and jump right into the thick of things, though. Even though they are excited to finally be made an apprentice, it takes a bit of coaxing by Hocus Pocus or Condor Kit to set forth for their ceremony. Hocus Pocus watches in pride as they're named Condorpaw and touch noses with McAster. Peekfur has recovered from birthing their litter. Whitestripe has finally gotten rid of all their fleas, but they do itch uncomfortably, wishing their wound would close and heal already. Instead, it seems to be getting worse. So it sounds like, Morbius Fang left them with a bit of an infection. Despite the lethality of the poison that coursed through them, Mothpaw's managed to stay alive. Very good. Branchpaw has gotten green cough. Cloverkit no longer has a stomach ache, and Flax Knight's headache is gone. We'll go ahead and scroll through here very quickly. So we are starting off quite positively anyway. There. Let's go through our cats here really quickly. Wow, we have quite a few. Just in case it's not clear, I do have mass extinction events on, so that could change very rapidly, but all the same, it's a lot of kits right now. Shortburn is still injured with the claw wound from Morbius Fang as well. A lot of cats are sparring. Just to clarify too with Stick Nettle, if we do keep all of her kits on as new mediators, they wouldn't necessarily be treated as quote-unquote players in the game. They'd just be there to help our generator along, and then we could maybe get more action coming in through those events. But we'll see how that pans out. I don't know if we're going to get there this episode. And here's Mothpaw. Totally fine now after eating the berries, which is good. Here's Condorpaw, grown up a bit more. She is sneaky, but quick to make peace. Acorn Kit is scrambling the herbs a mess in Cat's den. Pawn Kit and Bounce Kit are both, Bounce Kit and Jagged Kit are both afraid of being in the way. Pawn Kit's hiding. That does check out for our current clan here. Okay, I just went through and I redid my system here a bit, so I think it'll just improve my readability. I'm not sure if everything translated over correctly, so if there's any strikes or anything that I missed from last time, or any problems like somebody's further along or not as far along in the strikes as they should have been, that's on me. My other system made 0 sense, but this should be a lot better. Okay, let's just see what our generator says happens. Let's go. Shortburn randomly decides to send Rushreed on patrol by themselves. They complain loudly but leave anyway, worsening their relationship. So Rushreed will go out by herself, which isn't that strange for Medicine Cat, but there are more tents now. Well, Rushreed can't go out. She's sick or injured. Sprain. Which I really want to put it past Shortburn to command Rushreed to go out on a sprain anyway. And Rushreed would be forced to oblige, but would probably worsen her own sprain doing that and not accomplish much, so I think that would probably accomplish a strike and more resentment. Hocus Pocus and Cougar Speckle both gather some herbs successfully. They're pretty much always at full kilter for what they can be, so that's no different now. McAster takes Condorpaw out for their first training session. The pair find a spot to sun themselves. Sitting down, Condorpaw a little stiffly, McAster starts telling them a story of their own apprenticeship about a time they made a dumb mistake. They make it sound funny, certainly funnier than it felt like at the time. And slowly Condorpaw opens up, still respectful, but less wooden in the way they act. Sky Meadow takes his apprentice and Shortburns out for a training session. We shove some bushes into the mouth of the badger set to see if anything moves them out of the way. Since these three haven't had the best of time, I think that's a bit more of a success than not. Trailing behind the patrol, there's a mighty crash above Mothpaw. They look around wildly just as the world is blotted out by a tangle of heavy falling branches. The patrol eventually manages to rescue the apprentice, but they need to be held back to camp, battered and injured. Mothpaw got head damage. She cannot catch a break. I'm not sure how long they'll keep her down, but I'm just gonna say we'll give her a couple of moons at least, just because she has had such a string of bad luck. She could still be a strong warrior too. We hear rumors about a badger, and as we're sniffing around the burrow, there's a rustle from the woods. It's difficult to say who's more surprised, cats or badger. There's a confused rush of paws on flying fur as the patrol scatters and the beast charges for the set. Blacksnake is battered in the process, but everyone gets home safe in the end, including the badger. Blacksnake got a mangled leg, so that's going to be a strike against them. EclipseClan welcomes Python Fleck as a new warrior, honoring their composure. In their eagerness, Acorn Paw accidentally shoves their nose into Python Fleck so hard that Python Fleck flinches back in surprise. Acorn Paw sheepishly apologizes, and two have a good laugh about it. Oh. Sometimes you just really can't make this up, because Peekfur was on Morbius Fang's side. So after having Peekfur challenge him, Shortburn commands Apricot Trot to help them punish Peekfur. Everyone ends up hurt, though Shortburn feels they can trust Apricot Trot more. Rush Reeds recovered from their sprain. Sticknell is healed from the strain delivering their litter. Rain Creek healed from your mangled tail, but will be forever marked by a scar. We know some horsetail has gone bad. So I definitely don't have enough time to create a whole new generator, so I'll probably repurpose Morbius Fang's one. And I guess we'll just go from there. See what everyone ended up with here. So Peekfur, nervously pacing around camp, has a claw and a bite wound. Shortburn now has a claw wound still. Apricot Trot is here. She has a claw wound. So I think that firmly cements Apricot Trot in Shortburn's circle. And Peekfur's gonna get something happen to her. Okay, so I just am reusing the same generator. I changed around a few names. I'm not gonna have caught all of Morbius Fang's ones, but we'll just see what ends up happening with Peekfur now. So Peekfur can't take Shortburn's cruel rule anymore. She thinks that she'll do a much better job, yelling out a challenge at a clan meeting. Peekfur looks around for support, satisfied when her followers stand at her side. Shortburn is enraged, ordering Apricot Trot and her own followers to attack while she leaps at Peekfur. The two she-cats are sent around in a whirlwind of claws and fangs, while their two sides evolve into hissing and spitting battles. Lightstripe shreds Sticknettle, who's severely injured and then exiled. Lightstripe viciously claws Sticknettle, who dies. Okay. Shortburn rips Peekfur, who is severely injured. This deciding blow resolves the other infighting, with the other side being permanently exiled for their position. So it sounds like it was mostly just Peekfur and Sticknettle. This definitely wasn't the cleanest generator ever. But Peekfur and Sticknettle stand side by side to challenge Shortburn's rule. Shortburn orders Apricot Trot, who does go into battle pretty eagerly at her stead, alongside her other supporters, including her deputy Sky Meadow, and maybe her mate Hocus Pocus even would ultimately come to her defense. Lightstripe certainly does, attacking Sticknettle, who's severely injured, but when she refuses to yield, Lightstripe finishes the job, performing an act that he wasn't able to before with Morbius Fang. Peakfur is permanently exiled by by Shortburn, who rips into her, getting a deciding blow. And doesn't want another martyr on her paws. Whew. Okay. Sorry, Sicknettle. Okay, so Sicknell died when she stood against Shortburn's rule of Peakfur. Lightstripe, eager to prove he does have what it takes to defend the leader in the clan as he knows it, grievously injures and then kills Sicknettle. And then Peakfur is exiled. And that's been a lot of uprisings lately. But with that, pretty much all of the supporters of Morbius Fang, or at least for the generator's purposes, gone. So we can continue to explore the generator with more of a focus on Shortburn maintaining her role and leadership. I'll probably create more of a new generator since it's mostly just Rush Raid now that opposes her, just to get a little bit more in depth about who could be forming those tensions, who's probably more scared of her, things like that. I'm just genuinely surprised that peak for rebelling did come to fruition. Let's take a look at some of these cats, though. Shortburn's promising to take care of the clan. Hocus Pocus was eavesdropping on Sicknettle. Rush Raid's thinking about Dawn Trail, which is very interesting, seeing as Dawn Trail was one of the cats that Shortburn, exploited, and he did very well. Apricot is trying to set a good example for younger cats. With as many cats as had liked each other before all this drama went down, I am curious to see if any of the cats from the clan are going to go visit Peakfur in some capacity while she's exiled, since a lot of cats had crushes on her and vice versa. Lightstripe is sparring with some clanmates. I think you're doing a bit more than that. So Rain Creek is up, so she'll be able to start her patrols now. Python Fleck turned out to be cold, which is a good trait. So I'll up his total number of chances. But he's on his own now, so if he fails anything else, then he's on his own. And I am going to actually change his name. I just kind of got this in my head for him, and I can't unthink it, so he's going to be Python Shade. He was made a warrior a little young, but I'm curious to see what he's going to look like next moon all grown up. Mothpaw is at the medicine captain after a small injury. I think it was a little bit more than a small one. Wingpaw wants to become a fierce warrior someday. Here's Acorn Paw. He grew up to be troublesome, but a careful listener. So troublesome's a pretty good trait. Cloverkit doesn't understand why they're always left out. Aw. Duskit's hiding from other cats after that complete riot in the center of the clearing. I can't really say I blame her. Midgekit's also frightened. Gravelkit's worried now that she's not going to do a good enough job. And Bouncekit hates making mistakes. Okay. We'll go out on patrol. Hocus Pocus gathers catnip. Rush Raid gathers Daisy. Cougar Speckle struggles makes sense of the vision. This is so weird. I'm gonna send them on a training patrol. While Acorn Paw and Python Shade are out walking, Acorn Paw seems preoccupied. When Python Shade brings their patrol to a halt and asks what's wrong, they reveal they've been having a hard time sleeping. Their dreams are filled with shadows and images. Is Python Shade gonna say the same? Acorn Paw isn't Kit anymore, and though Python Shade tries to be gentle about it, they make it clear it's Acorn Paw's responsibility to make sure they're well rested and attentive for their training. As the patrol is marking the border lines, a gang of rogues strides out of the brush, challenging the clan cats. While antagonize, we descend to battle without a second thought, eventually driving the rogues away. So everybody gets a point there. I wonder how Claw Splinter's doing since she did like Peakfur and is mates with Shortburn. She's obviously not letting it distract her. Alright, let's go another moon, see if anybody else wants to oppose Shortburn. Shortburn gathers the clan for a meeting. They have spent many moons training Wingpaw, and it's time for them to be given their warrior name. Shortburn gives them the name Winghair and honors their determination. Branchpaw ends up dying of green cough. Spring Creek brought a litter of 4 kids back to camp, but refused to talk about their origin. The past moon, Signal and Branchpaw taking their place in the Star Clan. Their losses are mourned, and moments of their lives are shared. Shortburn's claw wound is healed. Brushery is moving some branches when they got a splinter. Lightstrike's wound is no longer infected, and they've healed. We discover some rosemary's gone bad. Brushery and Python Shade begin a small camped snowball fight while on guard duty, eventually getting the clan to join in. That's cute. Maybe not the fact that it's Brushery and Shortburn's eyes, but... give this a quick scroll. Quite a lot of interactions, but then we do have quite a lot of cats. Okay, so here's Python Shade, growing up a little bit more now. He's still cold, lore master. Wing Hair grew up to be Bloodthirsty, very nice. This is Mothpaw, who's going to be very pretty when she's back on her feet. Cliffpaw. Let's check out Rain Creek's kits. You know, it just occurred to me. Peak Fur left all of her kits behind when she got exiled. And Stick Nettle is survived by her kits, who are all going to be raised by the clan now. That's kind of sad. That's really all the kits that we have, too. So, Rain Creek had Rain Kit, who will change. Dandelion Kit's cute. His newborn male with green-yellow eyes and a goody pelt. Impulsive. Then we have Shard Kit, who is newborn male with bronze eyes, a 2-color pelt, and is noisy. Bush Kit. It's got a very interesting stripe over her eye. Newborn female, green-yellow eyes, and a single stripe pelt. We have Birch Kit, newborn male with green-yellow eyes and 2-color pelt. So... they definitely take after their parent there, it looks like. I think Bush Kit may end up looking the most like Rain Creek, but I guess we'll see. And let's go ahead and we'll do our generator. We don't really have any cast opposition now, but all the same, Cougar, Speckle, and Mothpaw discuss the tensions around camp. Okay, so at least it's a neutral one, which is good since we don't have a mediator anymore. Shortburn's craving the taste of frogs, so I think maybe she will go out and do some hunting for herself. A lot of clan is sparring with one another. A lot of the clan. So I guess they're anticipating problem. Be it from within or without the clan, I don't know, but they're anticipating something. Lightstrike does understand why the other warriors are hesitant to train with them. Which also tells me that Lightstrike may be on the outs because of killing Stick Nettle. Wing Hair and this like white coloration is just such a weird comparison. Cougar Speckles spends a lot of time sunning themselves and doesn't get much else done. Python Shade takes Acorn Paw out climbing. They manage to get in the tree, but climbing back down is a problem. Shortburn doesn't have a good time hunting by herself, but then it doesn't really matter for her, so everyone else has a actually pretty good time, so guess I'll update that. I think we'll go one more. I don't know if I said that last time, but we'll go one more and then we'll call it there. Okay, so Shortburn has been following the progress of Cliffpaw for moons and feels it's finally time to grant them their warrior name. They are named Cliffdapple in honor of their forethought. As Cloverpaw touches noses with Rain Creek, they hope they'll be a cool mentor that won't assign boring tasks, anything but gathering moss or tick duty. Dustpaw has been made an apprentice. Surprising Shortburn, the first thing Midgepaw does is ask to gather moss just to make sure everyone has fresh bedding. That's sadly not a good sign for our clan, since that's usually a compassionate or caring nature. Growlpaw touches noses with Sky Meadow, wondering whether this is truly the right path for them. Rushreed Small Cut is no longer bothering them. Rushreed fusses over their wound with the foul-smelling herbal poultice, and Apricot Trot hopes they'll fight out the infection growing in their claw wound. Blackside tells Cougar Speckle it's fine, and they know Cougar Speckle did their best. Their leg was too badly mangled to heal as far as Miracle from Sarklane, even if it is twisted. Bounce Kit has gotten Yellow Cough. And we noticed some Catmin's gone bad, which in Leaf Bear is the last thing you want to see. McGaster's seen touching noses with the loner is scandalous. As long as that loner isn't Peakford, then I think we're okay. A lot of different possibilities there. Let's take a look at all of our new apprentices here. These should be all at Peak First kits. Cloverpaw turned out to be a Lonesome and an avid play fighter. Dustpaw is compassionate, splashes and puddles. Midgepaw is thoughtful, avid play fighter, and careful listener. Gravelpaw is nervous, avid play fighter. A lot of them are thinking about Apricot Trot. Let me see how mentors line up here. I think I'll switch over Cloverpaw to Wingcare. Bloodthirsty speaking, Lonesome and fighting. Compassionate versus Lonesome. Let's switch Dustpaw over to Light Stripe, also as reward for all of the things that he's done for Shortburn. I think we are definitely very gradually morphing into usual routines because there's just never anyone to take on the apprentices from apparent duty. Midgepaw is thoughtful, fighting and advising. I'll keep them under Shortburn as she took an interest in them. I'm curious to see how that will work out. Fighting and advising are good roles, it's just thoughtful that may not be. Gravelpaw is nervous and fighting, strict, clever, and observing. Okay. Not necessarily mad at those, so we'll keep that how it is. And these guys will be mentored next go. So here's Dandelion Kit. Very cute little kit. Shard Kit really darkened and the bronze eyes are kind of jarring there. Bush Kit is being adorable but annoying. Bullying but quick to help. Birch Kit wakes up early to say hello. Attention Seeker. Shortburn's recently picked up the scent of mischievous kits in their den. Sky Meadow's rethinking their life choices. Apricot Trot does have an infected wound. He's worried about Gravel Kit right now. Python Shade is pushing around the apprentices. Lift Apple is insecure, which is ultimately going to be a neutral trait. Condor Paw is during a Sunday making the clan proud. Acorn Paw got in trouble for shirking their training the other day. Okay. Last patrols. A lot of apprentices. As Sky Meadow sets the cast up to practice together, Condor Paw and Gravel Paw sit in the back, hiding their lashing tails as they plan their prank. Condor Paw is probably itching at the chance to prank their older sibling. In a brilliant example of teamwork and coordination, Condor Paw manages to push Sky Meadow at just the right moment to trip them over Gravel Paw, sending the warrior careening down the bank into debris. Both apprentices fall over laughing. Yep, so sure enough they were targeting Sky Meadow. That's a cute little interaction though. Sure, Sky Meadow is not pleased. Shortburn's leading a training patrol when everyone starts arguing, but Shortburn has no time for this spat and pulls patrol to a halt to remind them that they have a damn job to do. Quarreling like kittens will not be tolerated. The patrol returns to their work collecting nesting material with newfound vigor. I would not dare to argue in front of Shortburn. The patrol finds a kitty pet who is interested in joining. We banter with them a bit, making them feel more welcome. We don't have to do much convincing. The kitty pet seems happy to join the clan with their litter kits. Danger Dave has joined the clan. Rosie Kit and Quiver Kit come with them. Let's check out Danger Dave here. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Danger Dave is a young adult male, gold eyes and a Bengal pelt, charismatic, a formidable fighter, and fast runner. So, Danger Dave sounds like he's going to be a very fun addition to this clan. With charismatic, he's neutral. So we'll go ahead and update him accordingly. Oh my gosh, look at this dapper guy. Okay, let's check out his kits too. Oh, okay, so they're older kits. We have a young female, dark blue eyes and a Bengal pelt, nervous and a play fighter, rosy kit. We have quiver kit, a young adult or young female, yellow eyes and a speckled pelt, troublesome, mossball hunter. They're 2 moons old. Rosy kit will be very pretty when she's older. And that's it for our patrol, so I hope that you all enjoyed today's episode. It was a little bit more rushed, but I apologize. I didn't really have a chance to put together a much bigger generator for Peak Fur. Otherwise, it probably would have looked a little bit differently than that. But I do still hope that you all enjoyed this all the same. I'm curious to see where Shortburn's role goes, especially with her, you know, influence over both of their kits, both of their litters. So let me know your guys' thoughts. Otherwise, I will see you all next week. Until then, stay safe and happy, and bye.